Wow! Headline of the day is fully vaccinated people can gather without masks, as the CDC says. Fully vaccinated Americans can gather with other vaccinated people indoors without wearing a mask or social distancing, according to long-awaited guidance from federal health officials. The recommendations also say that vaccinated people can come together in the same way in a single household with people considered at low risk for severe disease, such as in the case of vaccinated grandparents visiting healthy children and grandchildren. That makes a lot of sense. Vaccinated people can come together in the same way in a single household with people considered at low risk for severe disease, such as in the case of vaccinated grandparents visiting healthy grandchildren and children. A lot of gray area there, but it seems like a setup, doesn't it? Testing seems like a setup. The guidance is designed to address a growing demand as more adults have been getting vaccinated and wondering if it gives them greater freedom to visit family members, travel, or do other things they did before COVID-19 pandemic swept the world last year. With more and more people vaccinated each day, we are starting to turn a corner, said CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky. During a press briefing Monday, she called the guidance a first step toward restoring normalcy and how people come together. She said more activities would be okayed for vaccinated individuals once She said more activities would be okayed for vaccinated individuals once caseloads and deaths decline. More Americans are vaccinated. And as more science emerges on the ability of those who have been vaccinated to get and spread the virus. The CDC is continuing to recommend that fully vaccinated people still wear well-fitted masks, avoid large gatherings, and physically distance themselves from others when out in public. Just puked in my mouth. Doesn't make any sense. The CDC also advised vaccinated people to get tested if they develop symptoms that could be related to COVID-19. Officials say a person is considered fully vaccinated 2 weeks after receiving the last required dose of vaccine. About 31 million Americans, or only about 9% of the U.S. population, have been fully vaccinated with a federally authorized COVID-19 vaccine so far, according to the CDC. Okay, how much is federally authorized? It's only for emergency authorization, by the way, everybody. Not as a vaccine, not under the title of a vaccine. Authorized vaccine doses first became available in December, and they were products that required 2 doses spaced weeks apart. But since January, a small but growing number of Americans have been fully vaccinated. How many times are we going to say that in this article? I think this is AP. It says it's from New York. I'm reading it from a local, it's AP. I'm reading it from a publication that I will not name names because it's fucked. Have been asking questions like, do I still have to wear a mask? Can I go to a bar now? Can I finally see my grandchildren? The guidance was welcome news to a nation that is understandably tired. The guidance was welcome news to a nation that is understandably tired of the pandemic and longs to safely resume normal activities, said some guy, this fucking guy. Former director of the CDC, former acting director. I hope that this new guidance provides momentum for everyone to get vaccinated when they can and gives... How many times does it say vaccinated on here? 22 times for this article. Officials say a person is considered fully vaccinated 2 weeks after receiving the last required dose of vaccine. About 31 million Americans already read that part. I hope that this new guidance provides momentum for everyone to get vaccinated when they can and gives states the patience to follow the public health roadmap needed to reopen their economies and communities safely, said that fucking guy. But Dr. Leanna Wen called the guidance far too cautious. The CDC did not change its recommendations on travel, which discourages unnecessary travel and calls for getting tested within a few days of the trip. That could seem confusing to vaccinated people hoping to visit family across country or abroad. The new guidance also says nothing about going to restaurants or other places. Oh, are we allowed to do that or not? Even though governors are lifting restrictions on businesses, said when an emergency physician and public health professor at George Washington University, who was formerly Baltimore's health commissioner. The CDC is missing a major opportunity to tie vaccination status with reopening guidance. By coming out with such limited guidance, they are missing the window to influence state and national policy, Wen said in an email. The CDC guidance did not speak to people who have gained some level of immunity from being infected and recovering from the COVID-19. Fuck that.